Welcome, Savvy Scribes, to another episode of the Savvy Scribe Podcast. I'm Janine Kalbach, your host, and today we are talking all about office organization, requested by Michelle Wood in our group. Welcome again, you guys. Today, I'm really going to dive into how to just get all that clutter out of the way, how to know what to get rid of, and really just make your office space really workable and engaging, and really want you to not be afraid to go in your office and, overwhelmed by what's sitting on your desk.
Welcome to the Savvy Scribe Podcast, a podcast for healthcare professionals who want to build a profitable writing business. I'm Janine Kalbach, your host, and I am a mom to 2 boys. I'm a wife, a Great Dane lover, a registered nurse, and a content writing business owner. I am committed to help you moving your business forward because I've been there. I get it. I understand that life is busy and distracting, but many of us are burnt out at the bedside, working too many hours, and are ready for a change. Every week, I will deliver actionable advice and thought leaders in the industry to help you move along in your business. Welcome to the show.
So, couple things you're going to need today. If you're going to take action after this episode, write down these couple things. You're going to need a garbage can, number 1. Number 2, you're going to need some file folders, just those like manila file folders. And I'm doing this episode live in our group today, so I'm holding up look, mine says Jimmy on it, just a little file folder. My son's obsessed with like writing all over my stuff, so whatever, it says Jimmy. And a label maker, if you have a label maker. I got mine on Black Friday for $10. If you don't have a label maker, guess what? You don't need one. You can just use what I've done in the past, this sounds silly, is take a Post-it note, that sticky part of the Post-it note, just write your file on and stick that sticky part to your file folder. Does that make sense? And I think that's all you're really going to need. Maybe a couple pens or a marker, maybe. So the first thing when it comes to office organization in your freelance writing business is Purge. You're going to start with your garbage can. You're going to start with all those papers. What I want you to do is take your entire stack of papers that you have in your office and have two piles. You're going to have a keep and a recycle, and just go through all those papers. So might take you, everybody's going to be a little different. It might take you 5 minutes, might take you 30, depending on how much paper you have in your office. Don't feel like you need to keep everything. Let's be honest, we're in an internet world. You can probably find it later if you need to. So obviously things you're going to have to keep are like contracts and, writing assignments. But are you going to have to keep old research for a writing assignment? Probably not. So get it out of the way. Put it in that recycle pile. The other thing to do is we're looking at your papers, but I also want you to look at your drawers in your office. Open up your drawers and take everything out of there. And the same thing, toss and keep. You don't even need to organize it or anything at this point. Just get rid of it. So Purge is done. We purged it all. Get rid of everything. The next thing you're going to do is have a purpose for everything. So you're going to start filing papers and putting everything back in a place. So that's where your label maker is going to come in handy. Again, you don't need one. You could just label things yourself just to get things organized. The other thing you should add to your list is maybe somewhere to put your files. So whether you need like a file box or a binder or I have a thing on top of my desk that holds some folders, whatever can organize those folders for you. So maybe a little file organizer. So when you go back into those paper piles, start making some folders for what they can encompass. So for example, you could have a folder called Clients 2020. And inside that big folder, you're going to have little folders. And those little folders are going to have contracts, the projects, whatever you are doing for that client. So big folder for the clients, and then inside each substitute client, and then all the stuff that goes inside those folders for that client. The other folder you might want is your checks, your paper checks. Those are things I keep. So You don't have to keep them, but usually when I deposit them, I just throw them aside and put them in a paper clip folder. And then go down your years. So if you've been doing this for a little while, it's time to go back on those years. So look at 2019, 2018, 2017, and do those same type of folders for all of those years. The other thing that helps you do is if you have a client folder from 2019, from 2018, is if you're in a famine, a freelance famine, we talked about it in past episode, you can look at those past client folders and pitch those clients again. You might have forgotten that you wrote for so-and-so magazine, and you've had so many clients since then, but those people really liked your work. Granted, they haven't reached out to you again, but that doesn't mean they didn't like you, or they probably just forgot about you. So you can pitch to them again. If you are at a loss for clients, you can start looking back on your archives and see who you've written for in the past. The other thing, obviously, you're going to want to keep our past taxes. I have a folder for every year of taxes. So it says 2019 taxes is right up on my desk right now because we haven't filed yet. We're waiting on a couple of things. So I'll just keep those up there until we file them, and then they'll go back into the filing box that I have. So again, same with past years, make sure you have taxes. The other folders I have are resources or downloadables related to personal and business. So business stuff stays in this office. I do have personal stuff out in a filing cabinet for my house, but there are things that I like to download and print off. So I have a resource folder in here for things that I've downloaded off people's email lists and stuff like that. So it just depends on what that category falls into. Sometimes it's just writing information. Sometimes it's coaching information, course information, business growing, stuff like that. So it's a nice place to just have your downloadables. Other things I've seen people do is not so much file those in a folder, like in their office, but put them in a binder and tab it. So you could do that as well if you like to download things, because so many people have so many free things on the internet these days. Why not? The other thing is a to-do folder or a to file, and that keeps the clutter out of your office. So I have this actually in my office at work. I have a to file folder for my employee files, but I also have one on my desk at home that says to files. So again, if that's something I don't have time to do at that time. I also have file folders for Savvy Scribe episodes and guests that are coming onto the show. I also have a course folder for when I am doing stuff for my course or ideas for later course things to add into my course. So again, whatever falls into your writing business. If you are just doing some content writing, all you need to do really is have your client contracts and your contract folders, or your client folders. And then a to-do list. I have just a to-do list that's like always on my desk, not to overwhelm me, but so that I can always add to it. So that's the other thing I have is a to-do list. The next part is, so we've purged, we've purposed, and now we're going to polish. So it's time to clean off your desk. Invest in some desk organizers if you want. Don't go overboard. The more you have clutter in your desk, the more clutter mind you're going to have. So on my desk, I have a little plant. I'll show you guys that are live in the group right now. I have a little plant. It just brings in some color, I guess. I also have two of those like stackable file things that have, the bottom one has some journals that I keep, and the top one has just some extra office supplies. And then the other side, I have another file thing that has, 2019 taxes and course launch. So I have two folders up there that I'm adding to, and then I have just a pencil thing. So thing to hold pencils, and I have my diffuser. That's it. That's all I have on my desk. So, and I have a pretty big desk. So if you don't have a big space, don't put more and more stuff on top of it. Use a shelf behind you or above you so that it's out of your way. Then, spray down your desk, clean it off, make it, sanitary, because God knows how much dust has compiled since you organized last. And then I want you to then take your organization, if you're in this mindset of organizing today, go onto your desktop computer, because this is another area that a lot of us don't go into. The best time I ever had organizing my laptop was when I was stuck on an airplane with no Wi-Fi. I had no other writing work to do. So I was like, you know what? I need to organize my desktop. And I went in and made folders. And I'll tell you what's on my desktop without, going off my desktop. I wrote this all down. My Savvy Scribe folder has podcast images, logos, and etc. I also have like different folders for podcast guests and whatnot. I have a big folder for WriteRN, which is my website, writern.net. So I have logos, the clients I work with and whatnot. I have a folder of personal taxes. So I have all my tax stuff on my computer and obviously on my desk here. I also have my personal photos. So I have my kids' photos and whatnot. An app I really recommend for everybody who has an iPhone, and if you just like pictures and you don't want to use all your space on your phone, is Google Photos. It's free and it backs up all your photos on your phone, so you have more space. I also use that for my home as well. And then downloadables. Again, I use that folder that I have, but I also keep stuff on my computer as well if I haven't printed it off yet. If I do print it off, there it goes. It's leaving my desktop. So think about organizing your desktop, you guys, because there's a lot of stuff you downloaded, let me tell you. I hope that helps you guys. And if you have any tips, please let me know. And if not, go get your write on. We'll talk soon.
So you're listening to a podcast. You may have purchased my course, but have you considered a one-on-one session with me? Coaching is back, everybody. I've been doing this since 2017, and I have helped other nurses grow their freelance business to full-time status and or little part-time status, whatever you want it to be. But I am offering the one-on-one coaching again. If maybe the course isn't right for you, because you maybe already have some clients, you just have questions and you just need help through some business type of things, sign up for some one-on-one coaching. The way it works is you will get an 8-hour session with me and or 2 4-hour sessions, whatever works in your day. But you'll be able to block out some time in our day, and we get to use an app to help us go back and forth throughout the day with your questions, your concerns, and my answers, resources, and guidance to help you grow your freelance business. So come on over to thesavvyscribepodcast.com and click on
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Savvy Scribe. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, we'd love for you to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Until next time.